if you're eating the same amount of carbohydrates on your rest days as you are on your training days, you're doing it wrong. And the main reason is well, carbs are used to be able to fuel training output and our performance. But on a rest day, is it likely that we need that 600 grams of carbs in order to be able to just get steps and kind of lay around and recover? No, you just simply don't. And so it makes sense to bring those carbohydrates down. Now, how much should you bring them down? I think it can vary person to person, depending on maybe what you do for a living, how many steps you get in a day. But on average, maybe 150, 200 grams of carbs less than what you would eat on a training day. And it's just because you're not working as hard. You're not out expending as much energy. And so it makes sense to budget those carbs down a little bit. This is why carb cycling is very efficient, especially in a cutting phase, just because you can manipulate each of those values and have a really low day where you dig really hard. And you can do that on a rest day and then feed back up the next day and be more responsive to the food that you input. In a bulking situation, well, you can help moderate insulin sensitivity. And those low days are honestly like a nice little reset. So if appetite is starting to go to shit, you're having a hard time digesting, well, now you're on your rest day and you're not having to push that 5,000 calories. Maybe you're back down to 4,200 or 4,000. And it's just because you're not having to expend as much energy. So if you are eating the same amount of carbs on a rest day as you are a training day, you're doing it wrong. I highly recommend you shift those values down, and ultimately your physique will thank you and you'll start to tighten up a little bit quicker.